guys, welcome back to Jody Lewis Creations. Obviously a different format in this video. Say hi, honey.
Hi, honey.
So told you life's been a little crazy lately, and just a lot going on. We're going to PT 3 times a week, and mom's been here visiting. We took her to the airport today, and now I can officially share, because it's official and nothing got mixed up, that Mark and I bought a little piece of property with an old barn on it, and we have been looking at this barn for a couple years now, at least 4 years. Let's see, we bought our RV in October of 2020, and the first time we looked at it, we didn't have the RV, so it's been a while. But the family situation changed, and it dropped in price to a price that we were okay with. So it has a lot of potential, and we closed on it today. So the guy just brought us the key a little bit ago, and he is going to gather some photos and stuff like that for us. So let me flip my screen around and show you, because we just pulled into the property. Okay, we've just pulled into the property. So here's the barn, and it measures approximately 60 feet this way and 50 feet, what you can't see. So it's 50 by 60, so it's a really big size. And when I get out, you'll be able to see better, but it still has the glass balls on the lightning rods. And so it has a lot of potential, and I'll talk about that a little bit more when we get out of the truck and we're not bouncing around. As you can see, there's a lot of brush grown up around it, which there was not all this brush when we looked a few years back, but the owner's health has declined, and that's why it's for sale. So hang on. So we have to get through all the jungle here to get through the door down there, and there's another door on the side of the property, or on the side of the barn, that you can get in, but you have to have a 12-foot ladder to get down to the bottom to stand inside the building. But it's been, apparently it was moved to this place in, so apparently it was moved to this site in what, 1981, 1982, something like that. And they, the owner had like a crew come in, and all the barn siding itself was replaced. So that's all, I mean, relatively new, I guess. Not sure the exact date of the barn, if it was late 1800s or early 1900s, because there's a story about a fire, and we're dealing with the sun. And of course, as we all were when we were kids, we would only have to listen to stories that our elders told us. And then as we grow older, we say, I really wish I would have listened to that a little bit better, right? So he's not sure. But there is a story about a fire, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to find some history on this, maybe at the county or something. I don't know, because it was part of a farm that's just over here that it has a new barn. So we're thinking we're going to call this the old family name barn, where that would be the new barn over there. But there's a subdivision right here, and there's a subdivision right there, and this just sits in the middle of the two. So we already have a neighbor who's come through the back of his gate the other day to find out what we were doing, and find out what our plans were, and told us what he thought he was going to do with it if he had bought it. So good thing we got it and not him, because the barn would no longer be in existence. So anyway, all this brush has to get cut. So what's going to happen, what our plans are, is the ground level is going to be like garage area, and then we're going to build a living space and use the barn as a home. Then so that will be a couple years down the road before we get to that point. And then the house that we're in now, we plan on probably selling. So it's a really, really big step for us and a huge change. So I probably will end up making another YouTube channel. I don't know that I'll use this one for the barn project, and but I don't know yet. I haven't gotten that far. So the only thing that's going to happen this year is try to get access to the building a little bit easier. On the next summer, guess what we're doing? So I will share progress with you as we make any progress. Once we can get inside, hopefully I'll be able to get some footage, or at least some pictures to share. But that's our big news. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Had to sit down for my foot, but we're getting there. We've gotten to the door, and so now Mark's trying to get stuff off the side of the barn, what he thinks he can reach for now. We've been out here probably hour and a half. I don't even know what time it is right now. There he goes with another tree he just cut down. I should have filmed him. This is the second big one he's cut that I thought I should film. I had to sit down and give my foot a break. But the piles are getting big. We're gonna have to move all of those to the back of the property. And then you can see there's a door. I don't know if we have access to the door or not, but we're gonna have to figure that out. And then you can see the ground is just vines and vines and vines and lots of, let me move. Ah! Uh-oh. I could have got that, sorry. So lots of brush coming up. Trying to watch and make sure it's not pulling any boards. Yeah, they hold on really well. Careful. Might need to have the tractor to pull those off.
He was growing inside the building.
Woo, a big bunch came down off the side there. Let me get my gloves and help you.
Nope, you keep filming. This is important.
Careful and don't hit the truck. You can move the truck. The whole barn's covered, this whole side of it, so it's going to be like this to get it all off. Do you want me to cut with the nippers?
No.
Watch that rake. Okay, we had to move some chairs and stools and tools out of the way. He said keep filming. We might get him falling on his butt, but keep going. Gosh. We're definitely going to have to bring the tractor over and move these piles of brush because it's in the way, and we're not going to be able to park the truck as close next time we come over to work. The truck's in the way too, to not gouge it with big vines. The grapevines seem to be the worst, and that Virginia creeper. My brother was telling me, I was worried it was all poison oak, but he said to double check, and we think it's Virginia creeper. Hope so, otherwise Mark and I are going to be a big mess in a couple days. I saw the furry vine. I wondered if we weren't going to get into it somewhere. He just saw poison ivy. Ugh. Fun stuff. That's what I'm afraid of. We both get it really bad. So this is to the back of the property. And it's 2 acres. There's not any big trees on it or anything, you can tell. you can see those are just some scrub trees back there, and that's like a brush pile over there that's got to go away. But I'm thinking, you know, I'd like a sunflower patch and a wildflower patch, and of course a garden and birdhouses, and I'd love a pollinator garden for sure to encourage pollinators, and maybe some milkweed for monarchs to stop in their journey, you know, as they migrate for the season or whatever. But just, it's a blank slate, and inside the barn there's like nothing. Well, we don't know, there's no windows in it. We know there's bats. There are bats that live in the barn right now. The neighbor said there might be probably some rodents in there as well, which is to be expected in a building that's untouched for however many years. So anyway, so we just have so many, we've been like looking at Pinterest, and don't mind me, I had to elevate my foot, you guys. Trying not to overdo. But the barn's pretty much empty. Mark climbed down in there the other day, like I said, with a 12-foot ladder and dirt floors, and so much potential. It's really cool inside. It's been taken care of, and it's like the barn itself is sitting on steel beams. So for context, we have wanted a barn for a really long time, and we're always looking at properties with old barns. We love old barns. We get, you know, it's so sad when we see them falling down and people don't take care of them. A lot of people just don't have the ability to take care of them, and I understand that. But this is like kind of, it doesn't feel as rural as the house that we're in, and even though this is on a main drag, and we're only 3 miles from our other house, 3.5 miles, I think Mark said. Anyway, the road we live on is very noisy. You guys know that. You hear that in my videos. You hear me complain about it. I don't like it. And if I had known that the house sat on that road when we bought it, I probably would have never said yes. So while this house sits on a main road, it's a lot more quiet because the barn sits back off the road far enough that you don't hear a lot of the noise. So I'm sitting outside. I can hear traffic, but it's not right on that hill that everybody thinks is a raceway. It's not right at that intersection that people think is like the starting gate for the racetrack. So all that stuff. So it's just a different situation. And while it is a different community, it's still only, it's the same school district, different community, 3.5 miles from the other house. So that's going to make it a lot more convenient for us as we're like going back and forth trying to work and need to eat or have lunch or whatever. We've contemplated bringing the RV over here, so we've got some facilities when we're working. We just haven't gotten that far in our plans. So not a lot's going to happen this year other than just cleaning it up, getting the brush off of the barn, and kind of seeing what we have to work with, because there is a lot of thought and design that's going to have to go into this. So anyway, just some context, and I know I said I was done, but Mark wanted me to film him pulling that stuff off the barn because we do want to document it. And that's why I said I don't know if I'll make another channel, but I don't know that I want to share it on this channel because you guys aren't here to see the barn progress. You're here to see the paper crafting. So I have to figure that out, what I'm going to do with that as we move forward. But this is more like the introductory. We just got it today. I wanted to share with you so you guys would know part of the reason I've been so crazy the last couple of weeks is I've really been stressed about buying this. It was a major life decision, and so it was just a big deal. It was a really big deal. Really big deal, but we're excited. So anyway, all right, well, I probably won't add anything else to this video, but I will be documenting progress as we're doing things and sharing thoughts and ideas, and some of it's for us to look back on later and say, wow, look how far we've come. And I wish I had done that with the house that we're in now, because in 5 years the house that we're in now is completely changed from what it was when we bought it. So shoulda, woulda, coulda, and I will not be having that regret with this barn. But anyway, thanks again for joining us. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. So it's the next day, and Mark's been over here for a few hours working with the tractor, and he's gotten that right side door dug out. You can see the difference in what we had seen yesterday in the video. And so my son's here also trying to help, and so he had to take a grinder and cut the padlock off. So we have access now, and then you can see here the pile has grown more. He's gotten some tree stumps out, and so I think we're ready to try to get the door opened. Are we ready to get the door opened? All right.
We gotta do a little bit of stuff.
Got to do a little bit of stuff. So when it's ready to open the door, we'll be back. So he has, goodness. So he sprayed some blaster on the hinges. It's like a lubricant to try to get them to release. Banged on the door a little bit, and we're trying to see if he can get it open. And yay!
This door hasn't been open in 40 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So now I have to climb down the makeshift dirt steps and we can see what's inside. Okay, we are in. It's very dark in here. Obviously, there's debris on the ground. It definitely smells musty and batty in here. There's a floor. Let's see if the phone does a trick. That's really interesting. I can see more through my phone camera than I can with my eyeballs. That's very interesting. Oh, the possibilities. Wow, there's one of the steel beams we talked about. Oh, lots of places for the bats to be coming in. So let's see if we can get up and see the peak, if we see any bats.
Enough just to catch that block.
Maybe.
But you want them level, so
No.
if they're high in the back, you gotta level them out.
I can hear them.
Don't hit them with a hammer, you'll break them. That's not how you level it out.
Can't hear the bats over Mark and Dylan, but you can definitely hear the bats in here.
Pull them up there.
See more. Wonder what those are.
Burlap sacks or something.
That'd be cool. I hope there's not bat crap all over them. But you can hear them. But look in the camera, you can see more detail than you
Yeah.
can with your eyes.
Yeah. Wow.
Dylan, do you want to see?
I already did it for my.
Oh, you did? Very cool.
We got to the door swings.
Ah, don't close that door on me. Oh, there's a ladder.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on, Jody. I'm just moving this out of the way so I can swing that door farther. Oh, how big they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I zoom in, it gets too grainy to try to see them.